and Catnip. They go to the line. I think Sozzled has won it on the inside. Can't separate the minors. Mastic has run on well, and Catnip on the grandstand side. It's hard to line them up. Rose's Joy, Masked Dancer and Crystal Academy behind them. They were followed then all a blur on the other side of the course. Well back is Cobra and Minimal, who weakened badly, and Param as last two greet the judge. Judges call for a photo here, and they're on opposite sides of the course. It looked like Sozzled had a margin from my angle. 57 is the time. 5 has got it. Sozzled on the inside. Jim Cassidy. Number 5. Number 1 second. Catnip. Shane Dye on the grandstand side. And a great gamble by Shane, almost paying off. Number 3's got third, Rose's Joy. Rose's Joy's got third over on the flat side rail again. So 5, 1 and 3. Fourth, Mastic, who's come from last over on the inside. And fifth, All a Blur. 57 the time. They're just about impossible to line up when they come on opposite divisions of the course. Sozzled leading virtually all the way down on the inside. Catnip, of course, leading All a Blur all the way down the grandstand side. All a Blur's finished officially fifth, second home on that grandstand side. Here at Sozzled, well clear. Mastic was really making ground when the race was all over, but Sozzled has been too good. The application of blinkers, a telling advantage for the grey, who's been able to hold on strongly down on the inside. Jay Cassidy racking up another winner over the carnival, 5-1-3. And Tate should be coming through in a tick. Here they are now. 5-1-3. Sozzled has paid $6.10 and $1.70. Catnip to $1.50, and Rose's Joy $2.20. Quinella's paid $9.70. The running double 3 and 5, $68.80 with the trifecta to come. Sozzled ran a good race at its last start at Moonee Valley. It led up in that race, and Iska, who is a very, very exciting racehorse in the Peter Hayes team, just overwhelmed him, and they ran a very slick time. He's run another fast race here in 57 even, leading all the way. The grey proving too strong. Blinkers on, and that's certainly been a great advantage for him. He's now won 3 out of his 10 starts. He didn't have a lot of luck in some good races in Sydney before coming down here. I think he got knocked over in one of those races back in September, and his improved performance certainly has come as no surprise. Catnip, well, she looks to be back now. Carried 58 in a virtual solo performance on the grandstand side, so that's been a great effort, and she hasn't gone under by a great deal. And Rose's Joy, a very good first up run. Minimal in need of the outing, dropped right out. Mastic was certainly doing his best work at the end of the race. Race 6. And they bet 9-4, and she's into about 6-4 with the books, so it's been quite a substantial go. Now one's playing up in the stalls there, was it? What's this? It's Beauty Bell. Beauty Bell getting agitated, lashing out in the barrier stalls. As they continue to move in, a couple of attendants have scurried around to lend assistance there. Now Dakara, out of the way. We want to see what's going on. There we are. Another shot. Kevin Bodie, is it? Paging Kevin Bodie to the scales, please. Trainer Kevin Bodie to the scales. Now Beauty Bell, Christian Reith keeping out of harm's way as this filly became quite agitated in the gates. There's another one out riderless too. A few of them are getting on toe here. The other one that's riderless that they're continuing to work on is Fantasia Miss. That's her there. Northwood Lady, as I was saying, heavily supported to run favourite. Co-ed is the second elect. They haven't allowed her to drift out too alarmingly. Got out a point to about 5-1, showing 5.70 Super Tab. 9.40 for Morigo. She was sweating up and very ribbed up. There's not an ounce of improvement left in Morigo. She's got out to about $8 or $9.40 now. $8.70 for My Sweet Pamela. She ran a very good race last time out behind Northwood Lady and has a pull in the weights. Now Dakara's gone up into line. They continue to work on Fantasia Miss. Beauty Bell is out behind the line riderless, and she's coming back into the stalls now, I think. Just stand by. We've got a siren sounding here. She might be coming out. Yeah, she's come out. At 2.26 is it, Vet's advice? Beauty Bell. Late scratching, number 6, Beauty Bell, taken out at 2.26 on Vet's advice. A late scratching in the Great Western. Number 6, Beauty Bell, at 2.26 on Vet's advice. Bookmakers, please rule a line. A betting announcement will follow the running of the race. Now the light's been switched on as the last few. In fact, the last two come in. Emotional Success, who had a very hard run at Caulfield last time out. Visual Displays has gone in ahead of her now. Might appreciate an outside gate today. And Emotional Success came in at the 1400 metres. Started heading around to send them on their way. Beauty Bell, the late scratching. All in. Ready to run at the 1400, race 7 of the afternoon. Starter has them and holds them for quite a while. Off they go now. My Sweet Pamela began well towards the inside. Emotional Success and Coed are away very fast. Min Min Lights Jump Well is settling up near the pace, with Sada pushing up near the inside, and then Margarine. Northwood Lady settling down about 5th or 6th on the outside of Grammy Award. Emotional Success goes to the lead now. Moving up second is Margarine on the outside, and Coed tucked in on the inside from Min Min Lights. Marigo caught wide on the improve, 1,000 out. 2 lengths behind them, Sada, followed by Northwood Lady, and one rushing around the outside, Fantasia Miss. They're being followed by Dakara. Grammy Award just ahead of her. My Sweet Pamela's a good way back on the inside rail, nearing the home turn, and then Rasbrightia, who's second last, and Visual Displays at the turn. Emotional Success just the leader. Marigo up about a neck away on the outside. Coed needs a run just behind the leaders. Out wide of Fantasia Miss, followed by Margarine. Behind them, Min Min Lights when they corner. Northwood Lady is next in the field, trying to get into the clear as they straighten. Emotional Success headed by Marigo. Coed still can't get out. Margarine's got her pocketed away there. My Sweet Pamela's running on. Northwood Lady's under the whip. Will need a big burst. It's Margarine at the 200 going to the lead. My Sweet Pamela's coming after her. Northwood Lady in the clear. Dakara and Visual Displays is flying. It's Visual Displays racing up to Margarine and My Sweet Pamela. Visual Displays takes the lead and wins it from My Sweet Pamela. Margarine third. Rasbrightia storming home fourth. Then Dakara. Northwood Lady followed further back in the field by Coed, held up for a long way down the straight. With her to finish was Marigo, and they were trailed in by Grammy Award. Fantasia Miss, Sada well back with Min Min Lights, and Emotional Success dropped out to last. Visual Displays with Basil Marcus coming from last. It's what she needed. A fast run, dry track, and getting to the outside, and we saw the result. Number 3, Visual Displays, charging home on the outside, turned into the straight second last. My Sweet Pamela has run second, and third place has gone to number 10, Margarine, 3, 8 and 10. As they came down the straight, it was Marigo hitting the front momentarily. Right behind her is Coed, just badly held up there. Margarine tackling for the lead. The grey is My Sweet Pamela. Visual Display second last in the picture there. Marcus, the champion of Hong Kong, starting to get to work on her. She hasn't liked racing inside horses of late, and soft tracks have played against her as well. She got an outside gate and a dry track, and this is what she can produce. Good fast run race. Still a length and a half behind here, and there's only 75 or 100 metres to go now. But she's claimed them beautifully. My Sweet Pamela racing well, but again has to be satisfied with second as Visual Displays goes on for a very impressive win. Trained by Peter Hayes. Basil Marcus coming down for the hind mount. A great effort to come from well back. They've run 1 minute and 24. Visual Displays. A third win in 8 starts. My Sweet Pamela a game second. Third home, Margarine. And it was Margarine's stablemate, Northwood Lady, that was heavily supported into favouritism. She was held up coming around the home turn. That's her in the blue with the red cap. Oliver switched whip hands halfway up the straight. Marcus, was it? Right, yeah. Well, he's an absolute gem at that. He can do it without you even seeing him, Basil Marcus. One of the really great riders. In fact, I heard Mark Reed during the week in a radio interview. He did flinch when Basil Marcus came out. He just said, best jockey in the world, from Mark Reed, who knows a little bit about the caper. We saw a bit of it there, just why. $14.20 and $4 for Visual Displays. My Sweet Pamela, $2.20, and Margarine, $2.80. Quinella $57.90, Exacta $130.90, and the running double $125.80. We've seen him over here before, Basil, top class rider, and he put all his great skills on display there. In fact, on visual displays. Good performance to take out the Great Western. Well, that opens...
Betting around Australia with 11 minutes to the race. De Remus is paying $12 as the pool on Super Tab heads to 13 million. And in New South Wales, the pool is 12.88 million. So there's not much between the New South Wales and Victorian TABs or Super Tab at this stage. Faithful Sun, 780. Persian Punch at 14. Tophan's Melody, 21. 5 is Count Shivas, 58. 6 Gold Guru, $36. Tie the Knot, 10. Yippee-I-O at 18. Number 9, Markham, 37. 10 is Darazari at 17. Number 11 is Sheer Danzig, $26. Noticeable overs in New South Wales at 49. Number 12, Aerosmith, 11. 13, 3 Crowns, 81. 14, Joss Sticks, $102. 15, Peak of Perfection, 109. 16, The Hind at 31. Skybow, 27. Number 18, Yorkshire, 49. 19, Second Coming, 72. Ancient City at 87. Number 21 is Champagne, $11. Jezebel, gross overs at $12, as I mentioned, is the track favourite, and the bookmaker's ring has been back from a double each way in 2 points. So he's almost double the price he is on track, or she is. Perpetual Check, 25, and Arena at $11. So that race is coming up shortly. The Melbourne Cup, we're 10 minutes away. Rod, 1, 2, 3.
Well, Hilton, I'm being terribly belligerent because sticking with Gold Guru, I do like Gold Guru to win. Champagne, as I said earlier and have said several times today, I was very impressed with her McKinnon Stakes win. And Arena, the 3-year-old, he just looked a ball of muscle in the Derby. And certainly, if the trifecta can get in, we're not going to be thirsty after the last.
Oh. All right, well, I've gone with number 4, Tophan's Melody, to win. I think Patrick Payne will suit this horse down to the ground. I think the horse will get 2 miles. Tophan's Melody, number 4. The Caulfield Cup form is always good. Pat's a very balanced rider. He'll sit quietly, and an on-pace runner that will keep going for mine. 17, Sky Bow, placed in a Melbourne Cup 2 years ago. Has had a good lead up. He looked cherry ripe in the Moonee Valley Cup, the Grosby Cup there, and 24 Arena for third. 4, 17 and 24 for the Cup trifecta there. But Tophan's Melody certainly big odds at about 20 to 1 on all TABs.
Well, despite what I said earlier about him winning the Caulfield Cup, I think by default it is remarkable odds for a Caulfield Cup winner. He still did win the race, but did create a bit of mayhem on the way. Interesting too that Des Gleeson, the chief steward, he has read the riot act to the riders. Remember, Ray Cochrane got fined $20,000 and got a month's suspension for the Caulfield Cup. But Des Gleeson has said severe interference in the Melbourne Cup will bring the top end of the range, and that's $50,000 fine and 3 months suspension. So that's the sort of pressure the jockeys are under. But one wonders, with a Melbourne Cup looming, with 50 metres to go, are they going to take the odds to the fine and the suspension?
All right, thanks very much for joining us today, Rod. No doubt you'll stick around to watch the Cup with us, but all in all, thank you very much for your thoughts.
I'll come back also after the Cup to either crow or just hang my head in shame. And I've had plenty of practice at hanging my head in shame, Hilton.
Rod Galegas there. We'll be back in a moment on Sky to update the market once again. Faithful Sun, 770. Number 3, Persian Punch, 14. Tophan's Melody, 21. Tie the Knot, number 7 at 10. Yippee-I-O at $18 is in the market. Darazari at 17. $11 for 12, Aerosmith. Number 16, The Hind at 31. 17, Sky Bow, 27. $50 for Yorkshire, number 8. Now Champagne, number 21, $11. Number 22, Jezebel at $12. Perpetual Check, 25. 24, Arena at $11. $13,495 in the pool. As the market updates again there, 10 through 18. And we wish you all the best with your bets. There's 19 going onto the track, second coming. And Ancient City number 20, $88. Champagne 11. Jezebel $12. Perpetual Check 25, and Arena at $11.10. So Jezebel is the big over. On track has been very well tried. Number 22, Jezebel. There's Yippee-I-O going to the gates. We'll be back in a moment with the running of the Melbourne Cup.
For the first time in history, the Melbourne Cup appears on moving pictures. It is now recognised as the oldest known surviving piece of Australian film. It captured Newhaven, galloping to an historic win. Over a century later, enjoy the race that stops a nation with a beer brewed as then from only the finest malt and hops. Foster's Lager, proud to bring you the 1998 Foster's Melbourne Cup.
For years, Intel technicians have been making PCs smarter. Now they face their greatest
Crazy.
Professor Clark, how did I...
To run the favourite around about 6 to 1 on course, but a $12 chance as they continue to fill the gates. Money for Aerosmith 9 into 7, Champagne 9 into 7, Faithful Son at 13 to 2 is certainly well in the market too. Been a shade easy, got out to 7s, just trimmed up a little. But Jezebel, I guess, a surprise favourite for the Melbourne Cup of 1998. Now, Markham's lined up into the stalls. Skybow awaiting his turn to come into the gates. Behind on the move behind the barriers in company with Aerosmith and Josh Sticks to Remus. Lining up for his 4th Melbourne Cup. Now Faithful Son has gone into gate number 8. The Hind about to join them. 3 Crowns on the inside with Peak of Perfection stand in well. Torfan's Melody attempting the big double. Tie the Knot. He was also heavily back 12s into 9s at one stage, now at 10s on course. Huge crowd. Perfect warm conditions. And the great race about to stop a nation once more. Over near the outside, Count Shivers is lined in. Josh Sticks is coming up. The field is nearly ready. Jezebel in 16. Aerosmith coming up 1 from the outside. And Doremus is going to complete the lineup. They're nearly set. Here's the old boy going in. And the field is set for the Foster's Melbourne Cup. Ready. They're set. Off now. 3 Crowns down on the inside was away well. Yippee-I-O a little slow to move. Arena jumped out fast. Peak of Perfection got away quickly out towards the middle of the course. Faithful Son was away well, and so is Darazari. Jezebel heading towards the front runners, and Gold Guru not far away from them. Second coming, trying to find a position early. Champagne behind them. Aerosmith wide out is on the improve, and Sheer Danzig and Torfin's Melody are next out in the middle of the course. Doremus has got a good way back, and so too has Tie the Knot. He's back to second last with Count Chivas. Down the straight the first time. 3 Crowns over on the inside. Gold Guru, and between them Jezebel. Second Second coming 4 wide, Aerosmith 5 wide. Arena tucked away beautifully just behind the pace on the inside from Darazari, Faithful Son, and then Peak of Perfection. A neck away on the outside to Torfin's Melody. Not a lot of pace on, and second coming goes to the lead now. Champagne, middle of the field, outside Yorkshire, 2 lengths, then Perpetual Check, Sheer Danzig. Persian Punch 3 deep around them, followed by Skybow, Markham, and next to Hind on the outside. Back behind them is Doremus, and then trails Ancient City, Yippee-I-Yo. Tie the Knot third to last, followed by Joss Dix and Count Chivers. Whip the Melbourne Cup field into the Riverside at the 2,000 metres. And 3 Crowns at just a steady pace. Out by a length and a half. He kicked through again to be in front of second coming. 3 lengths to Aerosmith, who's got in to be closer to the rail now in third placing. And Arena is running along beautifully fourth on the inside. Wonder Gold Guru fifth. The length then Darazari. Persian Punch out 3 wide from Jezebel, the centre, and then came Peak of Perfection. 1 Faithful Son trailed by Yorkshire. Back over on the inside is Sheer Danzig, tucked away on the rail, followed by Torfin's Melody. Middle of the field, Wonder Champagne, Perpetual Check, and then the Hind. Skybow followed by Markham. A good way back is Yippee-I-Yo, followed by Doremus. Yippee-I-Yo is travelling out wide at the turn at the 1400. Ancient City, Tie the Knot, followed a length and a half back in the field by Count Chivers, and Joss Dix last of all. 1,300 to go, and the Singapore Galloper, 3 Crowns trying to do it all the way, led by a length and a half to second coming. 4 lengths to Arena. Aerosmith is around him. Wonder Gold Guru fifth, a half away on the outside. Jezebel followed by Darazari. Wonder Persian Punch, and they're trailed by Faithful Son over on the outside of Peak of Perfection, and then Yorkshire. 1 further back is Sheer Danzig, the inside with Torfin's Melody, is about to start a run, and then Champagne, the Hind, Perpetual Check, Skybow, Yippee-I-Yo going around the outside of him. Well back is Markham and Doremus from Ancient City. Tie the Knot is still about 2 lengths away behind these third last from Count Chivers, and 4 lengths to Joss Dix. Persian Punch has made a decisive move and has charged around the field to go to the lead before the home turn over Gold Guru. Faithful Son is following Persian Punch into the race out wide. Down on the inside then is second coming. Aerosmith trying to get into the clear. Jezebel has joined in. Look at Jezebel coming with a great run at the 400. Persian Punch is tackled by Jezebel. Wider out Faithful Son. Here comes Champagne, and Torfin's Melody is coming with her. Jezebel tackled by Champagne now. They reach the 200 metres. The New Zealand mares together. Jezebel and Champagne. Yorkshire pushing through from Torfin's Melody. Persian Punch. Champagne from Jezebel. Champagne and Jezebel kicking back. Jezebel kicks on the inside. Jezebel beat Champagne and New Zealand Quinella. Persian Punch third from Yorkshire. Torfin's Melody. Tie the Knot, and then Skybow. Faithful Son trailed by Markham. Next to finish in the race was Arena, and then came Darazari. They were trailed by, back behind those horses, Peak of Perfection, Joss Dix, Perpetual Check, Sheer Danzig well back with Aerosmith, and Tie the Knot, Yippee-I-Yo, the Hind. One of the last in it is Count Chivers. Doremus towards the end. Ancient City, a couple more. Gold Guru, and second coming are the last to go over the line, and one has failed to complete the course. That would be 3 Crowns. 3 Crowns has failed to complete the course. The New Zealand mares have run first and second. Number 22, Jezebel, ridden by Chris Muntz, has fought back courageously on the rails to take out the Melbourne Cup. Backed into favouritism, number 22, Jezebel. Chris Muntz has won the Cup. Second placing, number 21, Champagne, ridden by Glenn Boss. And third, number 3, Persian Punch, ridden by Richard Quinn. Official placings are 22, 21 and 3. Fourth in the Melbourne Cup, Torfin's Melody. And fifth was number 18, Yorkshire. And the time, 3:18.5. Wonderful victory for Chris Muntz and Jezebel. A great triumph for Zabeel, and the 6-year-old mare who won the Auckland Cup got flattened in the Caulfield Cup, as we know, and Chris Muntz, at just his second ride in our great race, has taken it out. And it was just a matter of waiting. When she moved into the race at the home turn, I've never seen a horse travelling so sweetly and serenely at the top of the straight in the Melbourne Cup. Muntz then had to exercise great patience as runs were going wildly around him. He sat and waited. He actually got headed by Champagne, and the 2 great New Zealand mares settled down to a terrific struggle. Persian Punch, well, Richard Quinn had taken off a long way from home, made it a very tough essay for Persian Punch. He came round them 5 and 6 wide, hit the front into the straight. But at that point, Chris, who is with his great exuberance, coming back to scale here. A big hug for Johnny Letts, a dual Melbourne Cup winner himself. Trainer Brian Jenkins, the great moment for these people. The Auckland Cup winner, she was backed into favouritism. The punters had it right. Chrissy Muntz will really lap this up. Just his second ride in the race. He finished 11th on Antiquity back in 1992. He's only the ride in the race. And the infectious smile of Chris Muntz as he returns to scale in winning the greatest race in Australasia. A champion run from this mare. Here she comes. She'd struck the front round the home turn. Persian Punch had gone early there. And look at her coast into the straight. Faithful Sun in the blue was running third. Torfin's Melody in the shadow roll. And the widest runner is Champagne. And there's your trifecta in that bunch of horses. Yorkshire just behind them. And they're reaching the 200 metre zone now. Jezebel going for home. But Champagne certainly measures up, levels her inside the 200 metres. And it was probably here that you'd think the corks just might start popping, because she's clearly got to the front, Champagne. She drew a good neck in front, if not a shade more, but it's the great staying ability of Jezebel that's turned it on the line, and she's come back to win. Mares Quinella, the Foster's Melbourne Cup, the 138th running, and here's Jezebel coming back to scale. Another triumph for the Super Stallion Zabeel, a 6-year-old brown mare out of Passifleur, trained by Brian Jenkins for the owners A. Burr, B. Jenkins and P. Tatum, and Jezebel ridden by Chris Muntz. It's a New Zealand mare's Quinella with Champagne second, also by Zabeel from Le Quiz, trained by Laurie Laxon and ridden by Glenn Boss. And it's the English galloper Persian Punch third by Persian Heights from Rum K, trained by David Ellsworth and ridden by Richard Quinn. Fourth, Torfin's Melody, and the official fifth in the Melbourne Cup was Yorkshire. Just awaiting the divvies which haven't come through. A great moment for any jockey, but that walk down the roses, Muntz just took every moment of it in. Must be one of the greatest thrills that you could experience, and he'll never forget any stride of that return to scale. What a great thrill it must be to know that you can win the cup at the home turn, and I'm sure that must have been going through his mind, so beautifully was she travelling. And then he waited and waited, but a great staying depth has told the story there. She has had just the one start at the distance before today, and she'd beaten Hero Smith in the Auckland Cup and met him better at the weights. Makes you wonder, had she got knocked over in the Caulfield Cup, how close she might have gone. A wonderful preparation coming through the Underwood and the Turnbull, the Lumber, and then not racing between the Caulfield Cup and the Melbourne Cup. It's not an often traversed path, but it has been a successful one. And Brian Jenkins certainly knows his mare. What a triumph for Zabeel to provide first and second, and for mares to Quinella it. I can't recall if that has happened in the past. She is the first mare since Let's Elope to win in 1991, before her Empire Rose in 1988.